Welcome to the Captured Conversations podcast. I am your host, Haley, and this is your co-host, Apollo. Do you have anything to say? You got an eye boogie. Yeah, that's gross. I'm going to go take care of that. Okay, sorry. He had an eye boogie. He was not camera ready. Not camera ready. Oh, he's got another one. Hi, bud. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm going to go take care of this one too. Okay. Yeah, eye boogie. Yeah, I got eye boogies. Anyways, did you have anything to say? Oh, you want to talk? Do you want to talk for the camera? No? Okay. I really want to get him on camera for y'all talking one day. Hey, 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 hey. Okay, sorry. Had to cut that. Inappropriate. I get you're a dog, but that's inappropriate. Anyways, okay, look at my sleeping baby. Oh, he loves me. Do you love me? Do you love your mommy? No, I want to give you a kiss. I want to give you a kiss. Oh, can you? There we go. Oh, again? Okay. He heard something and it distracted him. Okay, so welcome to the Capture Conversation podcast. I'm Haley. This is Apollo. We're the dream team. He gives a lot of good wedding advice. So, photography, if you're a bride, whatever, he's your go-to guy. He will only leave us in probably like 5 minutes. I don't know. He seems pretty comfy right now, so maybe he'll stay a little longer. So if you're new to this podcast, so I am a Chattanooga, Tennessee wedding photographer as well as a destination wedding photographer. Let's see. This podcast is really just about all things that has to do with, whether it's small business owning, being a photographer, photography in general, wedding photography, weddings, being a bride, going to weddings, being a guest, being a different vendor at weddings, like all things that surround anything to do with that is what we're talking about. Also, if you see, my tree is still up, my garland is still up. I said it last episode. I'm going to say it again. I keep my decor up until about after Valentine's Day, but before March ends, I really take it down like the last week of February. Some people put their stuff up early. I take my stuff down late. I find that the warm lights really help me get through winter because sometimes it's a struggle for me. Makes my anxiety really high, makes me really, really sad. I can really get in my own head because, you're staying in more. It's really cold. It's dreary. It's dark. And so whatever you got to do to make it through, right? So that's why everything is still up. I really think of these as more like my winter decorations. I kind of take down the Christmas stuff, but the winter stuff stays up, if that makes sense. And I count my tree as a winter something. But anyways, okay. So we are going to just jump into some stories. Let Apollo give his expert advice. Advice? What? You have advice? How about advice? All right, so we're going to start over on Facebook. So this was posted in a Facebook group by an anonymous member. Says, what's the craziest excuse you have ever had from a bride as to why you had to void their contract? I had to void due to her never making her deposit. Okay, so she was never booked, so there was no contract to void. She lied and told me her soon-to-be brother-in-law died, so they had to cancel the wedding. He did not die. She lied. Just tell me you can't do it anymore. Edit, she also told me that she was going to stay on the same payment schedule when she sent out the mass vendor text. It's kind of confusing. Whatever. CP. So when I read off Facebook, I don't read names. I just do initials. So CP says, I had the same excuse. Later, I saw photos from the photographer that replaced me, and the bride's dead family member was happily dancing in the wedding like it was 1999. From that point, I never gave it back a deposit, no matter the excuse. You're not going to fool me again. Honor your contracts, people. It's not about being empathetic. It's about business. People must abstain their word on their contract. Yeah, that's rough. And that's really hard because, if someone does die, people cancel their wedding, you want to be really sympathetic to that. But it's people can just lie. I knew a girl in college who would lie about like family members dying or someone being in the hospital to get out, like get extra time on assignments. People, we want to say, oh, nobody would do that, but they do. Anonymous member 551 says, I was told last year after they made the deposit and a payment that they won't be getting married anymore. They have to work on their relationship. They are both friends of mine. She got my a la carte package for 4 hours of coverage. It was going to be a small wedding, and I said, oh, I'm sorry. Sent the cancellation contract, which allowed me to keep everything up to that point since we were a few months out. Now, before this, she was all over Facebook talking about her wedding, black dress, etc. She was silent about wedding plans after. Their wedding day comes, they post some cell phone pics. She's in her dress, and they are all excited and whatnot. LOL, I checked. No professional photos were posted. Why lie to me and say you had relationship issues? Just tell me you can't afford it. We're friends. LOL, I hate being lied to. I would expect that from a stranger client, not a friend. I was a little petty and stopped commenting on posts for a while. Ugh, that sucks. Honesty is the best policy, you know? Apollo, stop it. We are live. Okay, let's see what anybody else has to say. Okay. Oh god, is this real? If this is another prank one, I'm gonna lose it. Okay, AR says we had a bride this year whose father died on the morning of her wedding. So it does happen. I had another bride this year whose sister was violently life ended. I don't want to get in trouble for saying certain words. Um, a month after, it's quite possible the bride was caught up in all the things that dealing with her death of the loved one. God, oh my God. Oh my God, I don't know what I would do if that happened. Holy crap. Oh my God, that's horrible. I mean, okay, I assume at some point they will probably still get married. It may be the next year. Maybe that's my approach. I'd be like, hey, I will like extend like the contract out, or hey, we can like reschedule for like if you are y'all gonna reschedule, or I'd probably say, hey, let's talk about this later. You focus on your family. Maybe like in a couple months, even like give her some time before she's ready to like talk about it. I really don't know exactly what I would do. This is kind of where my thought is going right now. Um, and like if they're gonna reschedule next year, then we'll just keep with the same payments and everything. No like keeping deposit. Now if she wants to cancel, I don't know what I would do. But I'd offer like a reschedule. That's so tough. My goodness. Oh. Okay. Next, still on Facebook, CN says, I love a keyboard warrior. And she posts a screenshot from a post she made. And someone says, this guy says, I think this is a guy. I really don't know. Actually, it looks like maybe a business. Learn exposure, learn fill light, learn off camera flash, stop using presets, learn how to edit raw files. Your lack of knowledge is noticeable here. I just want to say these photos are absolutely 100% beautiful and stunning, and I absolutely love them. So what if she uses a preset? Presets aren't just like one preset fits all. You still have to know to edit. It's just a good base to start. Oh, she posted another photo in the comments. This person commented again, learn exposure on another photo. Her exposure is fine. It's actually perfect, in my opinion. These photos, I would be more than happy to receive these photos. Let's see what some other people say. Oh no, Apollo, please stay. Please, I want you here. Apollo, please don't get up. Okay. No, I'll pet you. I'll pet you. You want me to get your belly? Yeah. Here, let me get your belly. You can roll over. Roll over. There you go. Okay. Yeah, high five. Yeah. Okay. People are saying, well, I love your work. CO says, because bro, what I wish I knew this group, I'd go comment after 2 minutes of research. This is okay. I think her comments kind of all over the place, but I think she's saying like, I will go and comment because that's ridiculous. This part says this guy can eat glass. He's a drop dead gorgeous. Apparently, someone comments, he's been doing this to several of my other local photographer friends all over from Paris to Sherman, Texas. Crazy. I want to see his photos. What do his photos look like? He sounds like, okay. So in undergrad, I took this photography class. It was in like early 2020, so literally I was in the class for like a month before it was basically canceled, and we just didn't have any more assignments and didn't do anything else. Oh, the joys of having a husky. If you just saw that, look at that. I will put that down here. Oh, yes. I'm not done. I'm not done. He was supposed to have a bath tomorrow, but it's going to be bad weather, so we're not going. It's been rescheduled. Oh my gosh. He is like dead now. Here, I'm going to move my computer so y'all can really get the full. I'm not done. Y'all can really see his absolute cuteness. Okay. So I took this photography class, and in it, you know, they always ask, like, who has experience with these cameras, who has their own camera. We've got some y'all can borrow. I had my own camera. I had experience. I was still relatively newer. Like I said, I started in 2018. It was 2020. And, God, all the freaking dog hair, dude. I know. I know. This feels so amazing, doesn't it? Yeah. But I mentioned that I had a photography business, and he was like, well, you don't like pay all your bills with that, right? And at that time, it was like a part-time thing, so I was also a student. I said, well, all the bills that I have, yes, I do pay. Because at that time, my mom did handle other stuff. But I was always good about having a savings, all of my groceries, anytime, like co-pays, you know, sometimes I would pay those, you know, stuff like that. Like, yeah, like all my subscriptions. I paid for all of that stuff myself. Any of my school stuff that I needed that wasn't covered by scholarships, which most of my stuff was. When I bought a laptop, you know, stuff like that. That was out of my photography money. And also had another business at the time too. But I was like, okay, immediately bad vibes. He was one of those guys that would be like, look at this amazing photo I took. And it was just like some power lines. And he's like, look at all these leading lines. It's so perfect. And then I'd show him pictures I took with like some models. And he's like, why are they in the middle of the picture here? And I'm like, well, that's an option. He's like, well, I really want you to use more of the rule of thirds and have them off to the side. I'm like, okay, well, I do that some. Paulo, no. Look, I pet you. I don't want to pause the video again. I was just like, okay. And I showed him some of those. He goes, well, why did you choose this? Like, why did you? And it's like, okay, whatever. And I did use presets some in that class, and he did not like that. And so I edited some for him without presets. They just look different. Which I understand him wanting me to do that. That's totally cool. Totally fine. But he just kind of belittled me a little bit. I just felt like he kind of like put me down. He kind of like, basically photography 1 and 2 was together, and he basically just kind of put me in photography 2 because I already knew all the basics. Because I also had taken a photography class in high school that went over a lot of the basics. But yeah, I don't know. It was just a weird experience. Honestly, kind of everything 2020 feels like a fever dream anyways. So, yeah. Um, oh my gosh, Apollo, what's going on with you today? Okay. Let's see. Let's go on to something else, I think. I'm going to scan through the comments. Okay. I'm not seeing anything else. A lot of people saying the same thing. All right. So again, on Facebook, this is from anonymous member. I'm only one-handed. Hold on. I need to set this up differently. Throw that over there. Throw that. Not there. Go to the side. Oh my gosh. To the side. To the window. Come on. Okay. So this is what the post says. So this year, for the first time, I've run into a venue that told me that they charge a fee to work there. To clarify, not a finder's fee, but instead of fee that every vendor working at the venue must pay, the fee is 10%. and there is no getting around paying it. They also make sure to gather invoices from couple to make sure you're being honest about your 10%. I find this dishonest and gross. Is this becoming a thing? Has this existed and I've just been lucky to never run into it before? I don't get why the venues can't charge the couples what they need instead of charging 10% from every vendor. I've written this venue down and refuse to work in wedding with them. It's a local venue. I get inquiries for this a ton, so it kind of sucks, but I don't think it's right to support them. I've never seen that in my entire life. I would essentially just tell the couple, like, hey, here's another fee that has come up for me to work your wedding day in order for, you have to pay this 10%. I'm not paying this 10%. You a sleepy baby? He's got like one eye like partially closed, one eye partially open. Are you a sleepy baby? You've got hair. Yeah. Okay, let's see what people in the comments say. Yeah, there you go. Someone says make sure to 1099 them, which I think means like because you would have like worked for them or they worked for you, however it works. Someone else says this is awful, huge turn off for vendors. Hopefully this doesn't become a widespread thing. To me, this is about the same thing as venues that put in their contract they have to receive all photos from the event. Yes. I charge them 15% for you to work on their property. Yeah, I'd probably just reverse Uno. I really like that. Oh yeah, well I actually charge 10% for me to work here, so we'll just call it even then. Let them know you only share photos for a 10% fee. There you go. Let's say, okay, so I'm actually gonna say this name because this person is like more well known. Paige Griffin says, Paige from Legal Page. I wanted to jump in because there's quite a few legal issues at play here. Just gonna say, like, I'm not a lawyer. This is not like real legal advice. But I thought getting someone who claims that that's what they do's perspective would be interesting. There are quite a few potential legal issues here at play. First, though, are we specifically talking about a fee for any vendor that chooses who uses their private property, or specifically targeting photographers and videographers for commercial right? For commercial right to showcase their private property and images on videos. The original poster said, "I appreciate you taking the time to give me some insight. The fee is for any person who is a vendor on their property. From what I'm understanding, if you're a preferred vendor, you pay 10% as a referral fee. If you are not a preferred vendor, you pay 10% as an outside vendor fee. I will drop a clip from the contract I received, edited to remove any information regarding the venue. I was told this contract must be signed in order for me to work there." And I will read that. Okay, vendor fee. The property assessing will collect 10% from all vendors' final invoice total. Tips are excluded from the 10% fee. Responsible travel fees may be discussed. Okay, bye. Oh my gosh, hold on. Sorry, we've got to ditch all this dog fur now. I'm surprised he left, honestly. Okay, anyways, back to that. Okay. Tips are excluded from the 10% fee. Responsible travel fees may be discussed. May be excluded upon arrival. These fees will be payable prior to the day of the event. Will collect contracts and invoice from guests and vendors for verification. 10% fee can be sent via Venmo or Zelle. Once payment is made, we ask that the payment receipt be sent to blank. Okay. Paige Griffith, it's Griffith, my bad, said, "Thanks for the clarification. If a venue charges a vendor fee for all that use private property, it is generally legal since the property owners can set rules and fees for use. From what I've seen in the comments, this seems to be most common with venues that preferred vendors list. If you're not already on the list, a fee has to be paid. You might be charged a fee to use the property. While it's frustrating, it's legal because they have the rights basically to do whatever they want." Now, either you or your client will need to cover these costs. Many couples end up paying these fees because they want you as their vendor, but it is essential to include this in your clause and your comment to make it clear that the client is responsible for any location or permit fees required by the venue. Without this clause, if the client already booked you and the venue imposes a fee, you may be stuck paying if the client doesn't want you as their photographer. So the client can either choose to pay or drop you if you don't want to pay it. Also to clarify, some people saying it's illegal under tortious inference claim. It's unlikely in a situation like this as long as the venue discloses, which they did. Yeah, just a lot more stuff. I don't even want to read any more of this because it's just people saying generally the same stuff. They've never heard of this. Trying to see. Yeah, nope, not at all going to be happening with me. We're not doing that. I would rather lose the client, I feel like. Well, I guess it depends on how much it would be. Because, I mean, it just really depends. I guess, okay, so say someone booked a wedding for 3,000, it'd be 10% of that would be 300, right? Um, I don't know about that. I don't know about losing $300. I just feel like the client would have to pay it. Okay, so we're hopping over to Reddit. R slash wedding photography, aggravation, Alsatian, I don't know. Asked to associate shoot again based on my work. A photographer colleague of mine, let's call him Brent, had an inquiry. He showed the couple some full galleries, including a wedding that I shot for him, that associate shot for him a year ago. The couple loved the wedding that I shot and asked to book him based on that wedding. He's unavailable for their date. I'm available. He asked if I wanted to associate shoot. While understanding some folks are having a hard time with bookings at the moment, I feel like it would really be most fair for Brent to refer the couple to me directly, especially since they want to book based on my work. Obviously, all of these things aren't fair. Obviously, all these things aren't fair. Obviously, all things aren't fair in business and photography. And of course, he's going to take a chance. Okay. Um, he's going to take a chance and asked if I'd associate shoot because he'd get paid the majority of the money. If I ask him for a referral with the referral fee to Brent, I'm guessing he's likely to hire another associate instead. Is there any way to handle this other than asking for the referral and then promise to do the same in a similar situation? What are your thoughts on this? Okay, I just think that that's just pretty standard. Because, yes, photography is a big part. Like, the actual taking the pictures is a big part of the wedding, so is the editing. Maybe they really like his editing style. His marketing and stuff brought this wedding to him. I I don't think it's weird that he has her or whoever the OP is, OP's photos, like a gallery. Because I have been asked, like, hey, I'll be like, hey, this person's going to shoot. Oh, well, do you have any examples of their work? And if I do have like examples of their work with my editing style, I will show them. Most people don't even care though. Um, yeah, a lot of people are saying some different things. Brent has no obligation to refer to you. Some people feel it's odd that he has your photos a part of his portfolio, but I feel like if it's his edits, then it's not uncommon. Um, I don't like the whole like I'll refer to you if you refer to me. Like we just do if he wants, and if you don't want to associate, say hey, I'm not interested in associate shooting this wedding. If they are interested in hiring me individually, I am, but I'm not interested in this gig as an associate. Thank you. They'll just go with somebody else. That's totally up to you. You are free to do whatever you want to do. Someone, the name is Hot Dogs or Sandwiches. Did you edit the album he shared? OP says, good point. No, I didn't, but our editing styles aren't that different. If the couple were to see my version of the gallery, they wouldn't be chalk and cheese. Okay, I've never heard that phrase. If anything, I take a bit more time cleaning up my images and distractions, but that's just a personal thing. I still don't see a big problem with this. Yeah, I like what this person says. X4DAO says nowadays the marketing and building name up in the industry is 80% of the work. You can't expect 100% of the profit when he has what part of his job has already been done with the marketing and stuff. So yeah, I agree. I think yeah. Some people say it's really weird that he's showing his work, but it's not. It's his gallery that you shot. That's not weird. But yeah, if you disagree, please let me know because I could see that one going maybe either way. Some people may feel one way or another about situations like that, but personally, I that's whatever to me. Okay, so this is just like a little funny post. It says, I see your Netflix and chill, and I'll raise you Netflix and edit, pro photographers. Yeah, that's 99%. I'll be sitting here watching whatever. Recently, I've been watching The Walking Dead. I'm sitting here like watching and editing and watching and editing. And honestly, it kind of makes The Walking Dead less scary. So I'm all about that. I love that. That's hilarious. Okay, so back on Facebook, BO says, let's see, here we go. Guys, please help me out. I had an engagement shoot. I immediately clicked with the couple. We are all like best friends. Long story short, I'm not a wedding photographer at all. They asked if I could take their wedding photos. I told them I try to avoid weddings because they're overwhelming. In the end, we agreed on me just taking the ceremony photos and right after just the two of them. The wedding is this Saturday. Oh my gosh. Um, and the couple sent me a long list of stuff, including their family, basically a whole package. Since the engagement shoot, we've already become close. I don't know what I should do. Try and face forward my fears, stand my ground, just doing the ceremony. Give me advice. A lot of people are like, do it, jump in, don't be scared. Weddings are my favorite. Um, yeah, it's a big deal, but yeah, my question more is like, do you have the gear for it? Can you get a backup camera? Do you have dual SD? But I feel like if they're aware of all this stuff, they're taking a risk. Obviously, if they're getting married on Saturday and they already didn't have a photographer, maybe they already weren't expecting like the best. Um, People are saying, you've got this. I really want to know an update. Okay, let's go and see if we can find this person's photography page and see if there's any pictures from the wedding. I want an update. How did it go? Okay, the author said, thank you everyone for your support. Did this person... I want to see their... Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, they don't have their photography page linked. Let's see. I want to know how it went. They've got some professional photos on here, but it's like of just OP. Which OP is beautiful, by the way. I wanted to see. Why not show me? And maybe OP doesn't have a photography page? Oh. This person says hire a second shooter. If you're able to. It depends on how much they're paying, you know? Oh, well, I hope it went well. I hope that wedding was amazing and now you are like in a wedding photography because I love it. Truthfully, I do. Okay, next post. MP, this on Facebook, says, when is the final wedding payment due? I've been doing photography for about 8 years and each wedding final payment has been due on the day of the wedding. I'm thinking of changing this because I don't like the idea of having my clients to remember something else on their big day, in addition to all the things that come up on a wedding day. What do you guys require? Mine is 1 month before, like 30 days before, whatever that is. Like they're getting married on the 29th of December, is due on the 29th of November. That's how I do it. 1 month before, everything is due. Um, that seems 30 days, 25 days, 1 month, 2 weeks, no less than 7 days. Um, Depends on how close their wedding is. Um, I have had people like reach out and I'm like, this is due ASAP. Like, you got to pay everything straight up because your wedding is too close. Like, if it's like 2 months out, I'm like, we need to have like all the payment in. I do 51% as a retainer, and then the remainder is due 1 month before with a halfway payment in between if it's like a stretch of like, you know, a year. What do you do? Tell me. Or if you are just someone who's getting married, what did you do or what do you expect? Okay, so this is on a different Facebook group called Weddings on a Tight Budget. Anonymous member says, has anyone ever had to sue the photographer? I got married June 8th, 2024. This was posted November 15th, 2024. Long story short, there was a malfunction with her SIM card. I'm assuming they mean SD card. And many of our photos are locked on it. She told me in September, and she said it had been sent out to a very highly recommended recovery company that she had faith in. Would be able to retrieve them. Well, it's been 7 weeks and I don't have an update. I'm extremely frustrated. The missing photos are literally the ones I cared about so much. Our first touch, entire ceremony, dad walking down the aisle, walking down, my kiddos walking, family photos, all the good ones. I don't know what to do. She's been a longtime friend. I'm trying my hardest to stay patient, but it's wearing thin. If this was anyone else, I would have lost my marbles on them weeks ago. Um, So two things come to my mind. One, this was a friend. Two, this is on a budget page. So I'm like, okay, was this a professional photographer or not? Um, some DS says, I wonder why she waited until September to find out if they could be saved in the mail or saved and mail them. Person says, exactly. Anonymous member 215 says, I hired a good friend a long time ago to our wedding photos, and she did a lot of similar stuff to yours by not saying anything, and then I finally demanded unedited raws because I was so sick of waiting. She wouldn't even send us a sneak peek or anything. She finally did after 3 months, not a single photo edited, aka she didn't even start them. The day of the wedding, she asked me to be there. She was asked to be there by 1. She forgot her SD card. She had to go buy some. Didn't show up until I was already dressed. Disappointed to say the least, but they turned out beautiful. In the end, it's sad to say I did lose a friend. I don't know if it's worth losing her over. If I could go back, I would not have hired a friend. This person says I wouldn't sue over a technical malfunction, especially of a lifelong friend. CY says, photographer here. I agree suing is harsh. Technical malfunction is like this one is unfortunate, completely out of our control. There's no rhyme or reason why memory cards lock like this. If she like reformatted it, didn't realize it, downloaded them, that'd be one thing. But card locking, it may not have anything to do have anything she did. Also, photographer, I can promise you she's not taking this lightly. This happened to me once about 6 years ago. A client who was a stranger, not a friend. I cried for weeks about it. I spent more money than I had any business spending trying to recover the data. I was devastated for her, but at the end, it wasn't anything I did that caused the card to log. It just happened. I didn't know this was a thing, truthfully. I'm glad I shoot on dual SD, and I try to, important moments I have on both cameras. That's terrifying. That is horrifying. Anyone have any, like, information on card locking? I want to look this up. SD card locking. Like, I know there's a thing on the side. So, like, did the card go into lock position and not save the photos? I don't know. I need more info on this. I've got a new anxiety now. That's horrifying. Please don't let that happen to me ever. I would probably cry, throw up. I don't know. I'd probably disintegrate into the ground. But anyways, okay. Well, sorry to end on that blah note. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, we need an emoji to leave down below. Down below. Leave a snowman emoji. A little snowman because it's freaking cold outside. And by the time you see this, we probably have hopefully gotten snow, at least where I live at this point. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with a friend, all the things, and I'll see you next time. Bye.